Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to ShortSalePowerHour.com. I'm here with the coach, Coach Collard. Just want to sport that hat a little bit here this morning. Maybe some of the folks at home want to check that out. What exactly
Represent. Viva la raza. Buenos dias, hermanos.
Thanks, Coach. Hey, Kevin Kauffman, my partner's behind the camera. Those of you that know us, we're Group 4610, Arizona's premier short sale team. And today is Friday.
Right on. Effed up Friday, isn't it?
Effed up Friday. We like to refer to that as forgettable or sometimes unforgettable Friday. So, Coach, I know you got a little story. Give a quick background to some of the viewers that maybe have never heard this before or joining us today for the first episode. You and I kind of go back in time, but you were doing your own short sale thing a while ago. So kind of share that with them a little bit, some background so they understand that.
Sure. Okay. Back in, late 2008, started a team with a partner of mine, and we went 100% on short sales. So in a matter of 4 months, we went from 0 to about 60 listings. Did really well from a lot of business, bringing it in, everything, but took us some time to build the machine, doing all the intangibles, a lot of what you and Kevin do well, systems, models, procedures, things like that, so that you don't let all the little cracks fall through, let stuff fall through the cracks. So that was a challenge for us.
Oh, yeah.
But specifically in the effed up world, because of that, we did some things really, really well. And we had a few areas like escalations and some other things, and how we handled lenders once we started escalating. When we did escalate, we didn't do it at the level you guys did. So we actually made a couple of mistakes, and our big F up today is really about the miss. While the lender was missing and while I was helping them fix things, they're going to lose their shorts at a whole nother level, but we had some things we could have done better.
Absolutely. So, well, that's the whole point of Forgettable Friday here. We're going to share a quick story with you. Coach is going to give you the summary of it, but understand there's plenty of blame to be found on the bank's end.
Yeah.
And we could all sit here all day long, but Coach isn't bringing you the story today to just point fingers and go, look how dumb the bank is. That is one of our points of the story.
Right.
But more importantly than that, if you just leave it right there, you won't empower yourself to be able to actually close transactions. You'll just sit back all day long and watch all your homes go to foreclosure, and you'll be right. But you'll make no money.
Wrong. Exactly. So I'm grateful for having Fred in my life for accountability for stuff like this, because he helps me see it. Thanks, buddy.
You're welcome, buddy.
All right, so let me give it to you real, guys. Let me take you to Central Phoenix. Let me put you in a...
Can we not go to Central Phoenix?
Why not?
I don't know.
Hey, some of our viewers are in Central Phoenix.
I'm sorry, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, you guys got all these rules. I'm not that guy. So let's go to Central Phoenix real quick, and I'm going to give you a neighborhood that has 38 homes on it, one particular street. And within this community, we have a listing with M&I Bank, one of my favorite banks that's not that empowered.
They've made an appearance or two on here in the past, haven't they?
Yeah, we've heard
love
from
you
them,
guys.
So, we're talking about the property to them. They tell us unequivocally they won't even talk about an offer less than $750,000 even. They won't even consider it. And I'm banging on them because we've got an offer at $680,000. Okay, and 680 is questionable. It's a pretty strong offer in our opinion. And of course, we know the market and they don't. So we hammer on things. I'm about 3 weeks out from trustee sale, and I just can't get my guy Brian. Thanks, buddy. Can't get him to budge at all. And he's got an attitude about it. He's like, no, this is the way we roll, and we'll just take it to foreclosure. And I'm like, great. So I strategically implement one of my empowered procedures, which says I'm going to wait the lender out. I'm going to give them until about 3 days out, and then I'm just going to blow things up, which is a technique I use. So I waited 2 weeks, didn't do a thing. They didn't hear a peep from me. 3 days out, I just get crazy. I start calling, I escalate. I'm talking to managers and VPs and whatever. And I finally get to this VP named Dan out of Milwaukee, pretty nice guy, very, at least communicative, once I got him on the phone. But he dodged me for a couple of days.
Dan Pershala.
Yeah, Dan Pershala. I didn't want to bring his name up, but thank you for doing that.
I will.
So Dan, anyways, he avoided me for a couple of days. I left him some strong but professional elbow emails, and he responded. So we got on the phone a day before trustee sale, okay? And I just unload on him. It's about 6 p.m., and I just lied into him. I explained to him, and I dared him, in fact. I said, Dan, I dare you to make the right decision on this file. You're being lied to. Your local M&I guy that's doing your BPOs has either not done his work correctly, he shortcutted something, or he's flat out lying. Either of which, any of those three, you should probably can him, right? And so I challenged him. I said, you're working with a McMansion, which is your property, in a questionable area that I personally would think is more ghetto than not, okay? And I'm not talking about all Central Phoenix for y'all, okay?
I got it.
Just talking about a portion of it. So on that particular street, there's 38 properties. And I said, Dan, are you aware that 7 out of those 38 on that street, which makes up the neighborhood, don't have garage. I mean, no, I'm sorry. 7 of them have garages. The other 31 don't even have garages.
So it's about 20% and 80% if my math's correct.
Absolutely,
okay.
Absolutely, and you're pretty good with the math. So here's what it comes down to. That huge value that they saw was absolutely questionable, and they were being lied to. So the next morning he calls me, he extends it, says, you're right, we'll take the 680 offer, everything's cool. Now, that was where the bank was wrong. Here's where we get into my issues. Okay? So we banged on for a little bit more, but
do we have time for all these issues?
You know what? Maybe we should bring it up.
I'm just kidding with you.
Okay, of course we have time. There is no other place for all of eternity except right here. So let's be clear on things. We started banging on them, and the buyer had some issues with the house at this point because it was in the ghetto and it's probably getting beaten up. So they wanted 10 grand off of the 680 purchase price, which is 670. Not a bad deal. So I go to Brian, I go to Dan, and everybody just shuts me down and tells me no. And guess what I did wrong? I believed them.
Let the home go to foreclosure.
I believed them. We banged on them for a while. We lost the deal over 10 grand. So I've evaluated things. I went to one of my mentors, Fred Weaver, my accountability coach.
Oh, how's he?
Not so much mentor, but accountability coach.
Okay.
He likes to hammer on that area. But he's like, dude, coach, what were you thinking? He goes, you were way too much in the moment.
Sounds like a smart guy.
Where did I miss?
Well, I hear a couple things, and Kevin Kauffman's back there. He's begging us to end this episode, but we're not going to. We're going to stay right here, and we're going to go deep.
It's Friday!
It's Friday, so hang tight with us.
You're drinking my soda. Looks like mine.
So, couple places, Coach. Number one, Kevin Kauffman and I, we always pad our HUD really well. Meaning that I would have had some additional taxes and some fees on there that were estimates higher than what I needed. So when
on a $680,000 offer, that would have easily come close to 10 grand.
Oh, so when the bank gave me an approved net, if I had any changes later, I would have been ready for them. Now, the benefit is if I don't need that padding, I just give it to M&I later, no big deal.
Absolutely.
And they take more.
Right. But my miss was in not utilizing it.
Yeah, and the mistake there is that had you had some padding, you could have gone back with a lower offer but still met their minimum net. In fact, one of my negotiators just made a very similar mistake on a file, but I caught it before we got too far down the road. The bank countered to 175 with a certain net they wanted. Well, I figured out that our HUD was still so padded and we had missed it. We were able to get the sales price approved at 165 with the same net. Wouldn't you know, that property's closing later this month. So that's the one place. Number
two place is I should have kept escalating and not taking no for an answer.
Yeah, no. I mean, Dan's a good guy. I mean, I've had okay experiences with him. I really honestly don't have a lot of complaints around him. I really don't have any. But there's some higher folks at M&I that make decisions. So I would have been firing up the CEO's office. I would have been firing up the CFO. I would have been talking to some other folks in town. And you know what, guys? That is the reason why you got to be doing short sales with a partner. Now, Mark had a partner at the time, but his partner was really involved with the origination side and the listing side. And Mark was doing the majority of the negotiations. I can't tell you how many times in the 2 years that Kevin and I have closed 200 plus short sales, I've tossed a file at him and been like, dude, I need some help. Give me a different angle. I'm stuck in the middle of this file and all I'm hearing is crap and negative stuff from the bank. I need a different outlook and a different approach, and Kevin would come in with the solution. And I've done the same thing for him, and it's the power of working together.
It is.
Last piece I'll say on that, we had a file just a couple days ago, a negotiator that works with us was working on. All three of us, the 2 negotiators in the office with me, we all got on the phone, and in 20 minutes we forced the issue enough, we've made enough phone calls and sent enough emails that we got
all 3 of you?
We got an approval. 3 of us working on one file for 20 minutes.
Rock on, baby!
Hours cumulative work done in 20 minutes. So anyway, so this video fits on YouTube and fits under 10 minutes. We're going to wrap it up right now as Kevin Kauffman's irate in the background. He's getting red in the face. So 1, 2, 3, short sale power hour. Short sale power hour.
Crush it.
Lee.